Hello, my name is Ivona Arroyo, and I'm a professor at WPI in Social Sciences and Policy Studies. I'm here to talk to you about this action research proposal for math teachers in grades 6 to 8 on math learning technologies. And I wanted to say there's a full document that explains all of this in detail at tinyurl.com action research PD. And also there's a link to register in that document, but also here that is goo.gl/62ija9. This is a collaboration between WPI, UMass Amherst, and the Education Collaborative. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Ivona Arroyo, Assistant Professor in Learning Sciences and Technologies at WPI. I'm driving a federally funded research group in learning sciences, learning technologies, and data science research. Basically, my research is at the intersection of computer science, psychology, and education. And I see learning technologies as a way to understand how people learn and as a way to massively help students and teachers. Students learn and teachers teach. My research involves a variety of areas, including educational data mining, learning technologies for K-12, software engineering, learning theories, affect, and many others. If you want to know more about me, you can go to my website, alt.wpi.edu. There's a nice description of the mission of my research and my lab on personalized learning and affect and motivation, effective approaches to teaching, and metacognition. But I'm here to talk about this professional development opportunity that starts February 4th and will last all the way through June, about beginning of June. And it's in relation to two National Science Foundation awards that I have received on socio-emotional aspects of student learning in relation to learning technologies, and also on capacity building in educational data analytics. So we're supposed to be training the general public on student data as a window to students' minds. So this proposal, again, tinyurl.com/action research PD, involves meeting Wednesdays about 1 hour a week remotely, not in person, over Google Meet or Zoom. So you will need a computer to connect, starting February 4th around 3:15 p.m., but the time is a little negotiable, with a goal to help you understand your students better. So we will do an action research that will teach you to frame questions that you have about your students already and create an action research plan to find some answers. So we will start at the beginning, trying to understand what questions you already have about your students, maybe at different parts in different times of the year. You already have a lot of questions. I will help you to frame them and understand what they are and to select the ones that are more important to you right now. So having done this already in the summer, in August 2017, in a workshop where 18 teachers participated, I already know that there's a lot of questions that teachers have. And it's not only about how much students know, which is the typical kind of questions that teachers have, but it's also about acting and teaching effectively given that you know something about your students. Other questions have to do with how to help students become effective learners. Others questions have to do with students' affect and how they feel and what to do about it. Others have to do with technology in particular and its effectiveness and how students are engaged and what works. So I know you will have a large variety of questions that you want to address or you want answers for. In general, the stumbling blocks that teachers have to answer questions is first to understand how to formulate them well in a quantitative manner and to create a plan for data collection. And a lot of the problems generally have to do with data that is not there, needs to be collected, but maybe it already exists or part of it exists, but it's disconnected and teachers don't know how to connect the data and how that full integrated data set should look like. Last, sometimes you have all the data, but you don't know exactly how to analyze it or how to go about to answer those questions. So we will address all of these, and we will formulate a concrete plan by week 4 using mathspring.org as a data collection tool. This is a tool that will allow you to gather tons of data about your students, and it will allow you to configure it to cover the math you want. And if you need to create surveys, it's very likely that you might need that to know more about your students. You will be able to configure MathSpring to get all the information that you need, including adding new material if the material is not there yet. You will possibly work in small teams with other teachers that are trying to answer the same questions. This is a possibility. We'll see. And yes, by weeks 5, 9, you will be using this software called mathspring.org for data collection. This is software that I have created in collaboration with UMass Amherst over the past 10 years. So it's a very solid software that it's an adaptive, personalized math learning software that uses multimedia to support students as they solve math problems that are mostly coming from MCAS. So this is a good opportunity to get your students also to practice for MCAS. So to students, MathSpring is an opportunity to learn new things and to practice. So students say if you don't get an answer right, you can click on the hint button or watch a video. So there's a variety of tools that help students through this problem-solving process, and it helps them so that they think that they're practicing and they're getting a lot of support, not only in visual form, but also in audio form. That's a big difference. There's a variety of features in the software, such as allowing them, the students, to see their progress and how their ability is changing, which is very nice for them. And last, the problems are all aligned to Common Core standards, so you can choose questions that are for the level of your students, including a range of abilities of your students. Last, what you will get out of this software is a variety, a large amount of student data that is summarized already in the teacher tools as a report card for your class. And you'll be able to see what are problems that are hard for your students, what are areas of Common Core where your students are weaker at. But in addition to that, there's a variety of reports that allow you to understand your students at a different level in terms of their emotions and how students feel and why students are feeling in a certain way as they solve math problems. Some reasons that students give are very internal, and you should be able to understand that, while others are more externals, that they're blaming other things. So it's good to have this information in order to be able to repair and set action plans that are based on the ways that they're feeling and why they're feeling that way. So you will be able to analyze a lot of data, and just by looking at the teacher reports, the plots, the charts, the tables already give tons of information, but maybe that is not enough, and you can download data from MathSpring to continue your analysis in Excel, in Tableau, or RapidMiner, and you're going to be able to learn about these different softwares and how to succeed at your analysis, right? But many times when you download data, you need to connect it to maybe something else, some other data sets that you have from scores from the previous year or from some other tests that you have, other data that you have, and you will learn how to connect the data using Excel, using formulas such as lookup and others. Last, we will conclude by writing a publication, which is a write-up to be presented at a teachers' conference about these findings. You will present your experience and what have you found out about your students and what are your action plans moving forward given what you understand about your students. So this is an exciting experience for you. I think it's a very different opportunity where you would gain 30 PDPs as part of action research that are very valuable, but some teachers don't need the 30 PDPs. So I still want to give those teachers the opportunity to participate by giving them a reward of $1,000 that is already money that is coming from the National Science Foundation. You will be required to attend the 15 hours online on Wednesdays after school. Again, the time is still negotiable. You will still have homework, 1 extra hour more or less per week, where you will have to think further about what we've been talking about, or maybe practice with the software, set up your class, etc., create usernames. And we will not be meeting during school breaks, so you will still have your breaks to yourself. The full schedule is in the document. And I wanted to say that registration closes January 24th. The decision is going to be made January 31st about which teachers are going to be selected to participate. Again, there's information sessions Wednesdays at 3:15, every Wednesdays until January 24th. tinyurl.com/hangout with Yvonne will take you there. Just click on that link and you will be able to see me on Wednesdays at 3:15 to ask more questions. You can always drop me an email. Remember that the registration link is in the first slide, goo.gl62ija9, and also a lot more information in tinyurl.com/actionresearchpd. Thank you.